Have you ever wondered about the flow of energy and how it affects us? How life force is in all objects as well as in all humans and animals and plants and in Mother Earth? How all of that works together? Then you're in the right place. This is Inner Peace Place, and I'm Karen, and we're going to talk today about the principles of energy. And by that, what I'm talking about is how energy can be inside or the majority of the beingness of an item. You and I can look at situations, movement of a person, or a dog, or even the growth in a tree, and understand a concept of energy, how blood flows and the cells are growing. I mean, that's kind of something that we've been taught. But the energy in inanimate objects is more difficult to understand because the flow that it has is very slow. And so our eyes are not able to comprehend any motion or movement. And so we think, well, this has energy and that is deprived of energy. There's just no energy in that rock or in that window pane. And yet, when people look at old houses that were built years ago, the very first glass that was ever made, they can see that the glass has been moving slightly over the years. There's flow. Even though it's hard when you knock on it, there's still flow in it. So energy creates our experiences, and it creates our actual existence. Without a flow of energy, none of this would exist. The whole earth plane would not be in existence. Our perception of the earth plane depends on how we educate ourselves and how we develop our skill set for identifying energy. So when we're children, we're taught a set of skills for survival. And many times that includes the energy of chaos. Chaos is a flowing energy. So the goal isn't to say if it isn't flowing, it isn't good. We can't generalize that way. Chaotic energy has organization, it has flow, and it's desired by many, 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 many people, a lot of people. So when you look at energy and how it flows, understand that all energy has pattern, a consistency. And we are not able to stop the flow. No matter what we do, you and I as humans are unable to put enough willpower behind something to stop flow of energy. The energy of the aging body, the energy of ocean waves, rivers. You cannot stop the growth of a tree unless it dies. But then there's still energy going on. So, that's another conversation. So understand that despite our knowingness on the earth plane, our personality self likes to control. And it may make up stories in your head as to this is an energy that I can control and this is an energy that I cannot. When in the big picture, you're not able to control any energy. It was set into motion and it just is. It is doing what it is supposed to do. And it will always do in its own way. So the momentum of the energy is what you and I see and feel and touch and smell. It's been set up and observed by eons of people and plants and animals. Observation. And so when you see something that you don't like, by simply exerting your willpower, there's too much momentum to change it. So you can't exert enough willpower to make it change or stop. It is more of like the weather. Think of that. The weather has no way to be controlled by the human. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's pleasant to your physical form and sometimes it's not. But it isn't something that can be stagnant ever. No thing is able to be stagnant. There is always motion in anything you see, feel, touch, smell. Any of that is filled with motion and flow. So when your ability to observe an object moment to moment is enhanced, perhaps you turn the light on and you can see it in a different way than when you turn the light off, or it's not quite as bright in the room versus when it's darker. Understand that that object and its motion and its existence is exactly the same as when you were not in the room to observe it. It had its own state of awareness, its own ability to be in a state of isness. I think that's when we get confused. It's that we think, well, I am going to be a creator of peaceful energy in my environment. I think a more appropriate term would be an influencer. I want to influence what I'm attracted to. I want to influence what impacts me. And so by doing those things, you can be very successful, magnetizing into your life and or being aware of it to a point that it gets more meat behind it. It gets bigger. You connect to the all that is, take your deep breath, relax, call in your help, your guidance from a source that is bigger than yourself, and ask for assistance in seeing the energy behind, not necessarily a situation because we've done that before, but an object or a large entity of some sort. And again, to do this, you have to be still, have soft eyes that are unfocused, because you and I have learned to focus on everything in our environment. So if we want to see the energy behind an object or behind a situation or behind anything, you have to use different skills than what you normally do. This is a new skill to us. This isn't something that we do day in and day out. Moment to moment, we don't stay in a state of seeing the energy of an object. It might be a little dysfunctional to do that. It'd be really hard to drive a car if you're looking at, all of the scenery in a different way. So it might be safer to stay the way you are. But as far as knowledge base and for skills to develop to use in certain situations, seeing the energy behind an object or embedded in the object is what I really mean. It is very humbling. In other words, when you can see that, it helps it ring true with you and allows you to relax and accept what is in a more complete manner. We can have a disconnected way of being on the earth plane. We can engulf the situations, the energies that are working with us. Some of us think the energies are working against us. So that's a concept you may want to analyze in yourself. If you feel that the energies of a situation are working against you and challenging you or are attacking you and putting you in a state of fear, how can I take that and learn to embrace the way that things are? It is the way it is. I am able to influence what I focus on, and I can find the goodness in all things. So as you're looking at something with unfocused eyes and you're trying to see the energy behind it, you do have a goal. It isn't that you're trying to say, where did this energy come from? I would recommend that you say, how can I connect with the flow from me to that object? How can I become aware of that flow that is truly part of me? We all come from energy. So in essence, we all come from the same source. Everything in the environment comes from the same source. So how do you and I relate to that? That's what we're trying to change and understand. How do I get bigger? How do I become one with the all that is so that I can live a more accepting life? In other words, I want to accept what's going on in my life. I want to influence the things that are not joyful, but I want to understand how things work and how things flow so that I can have more fun on this journey. You are one with the all that is. You are one with flowing energy. And you are all formed, all of us are formed from this energy source. We have the opportunity here to learn to accept the flow that we're engaged in our lives, influence in a more joyful way the energies as they're presented to us. And by focusing on the flow behind the things that bring us joy, this is a skill that some people are able to do moment to moment all day long. The majority of us do it in little snapshots. And maybe some days we're better at it, and then for some weeks we don't even try. The personality self likes things, likes the chaos, the ego. And so if you decide that you truly want a peace-filled life, you cannot continue doing the same things the way you were. Look at things differently. Find something new to focus on and reward yourself with a little pat on the back. Look what I did. Love and light to you and your path, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.